Hi guys! Valentine's Day is coming up, the most romantic holiday of the year. However, if you are single like me, you're probably going to spend it reading. And if you are in a relationship and you're still going to be reading this Valentine's Day weekend, awesome! Regardless, I wanted to share which book I'm reading this Valentine's Day weekend because, let's be real, this time of year calls for a certain kind of book, and that is romance. And I've read quite a few romance books in my time, and I would like to suggest some that you could read this Valentine's Day, or any Valentine's Day, or any time of year really, based on different genre or style or types of love stories you're looking for. First, I wanted to start by telling you the book I'm reading this Valentine's Day weekend, which is The Rosie Project by Graham Simpson. If you are into emotionally unavailable characters, this is the book for you. The man in this book is a genius, and he is trying to come up with an equation or a system or a survey to find the perfect wife for him. But along the way, he meets this girl named Rosie who is looking for her father, and he decides to help her with that on the side. On to the actual suggestions now. If you're looking for a classic, you're probably best off of Jane Austen. But instead of Pride and Prejudice or Sense and Sensibility, I'm going to suggest Emma by Jane Austen. This is about a girl named Emma who decides to interfere with the love affairs of her friends and society members and starts to set them up because she is determined that she can set anybody up for the perfect couple. That tends to backfire, as it does, because you can't plan true love. And if you like Clueless, then definitely pick this up because this is what Clueless is based on. No, Brianna, I want to read something more modern, more contemporary. Well then, this video is definitely for you. These are the books that most young adult fiction writers decide to write. And there's obviously one novel that I feel stands above the rest in regards to contemporary romance novels. Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. This book is about a girl named Anna who goes to France for her final year of high school, and while she's there, she meets a boy named Etienne St. Clair, and there's a lot of will they, won't they tension throughout the book. Plus, it's set in the world's most romantic city, Paris. Really great coming of age contemporary I would have to go with The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy by Jenny Han. If you're looking for coming of age, then I recommend this entire series. It follows our main character Belly every summer as she goes to a beach house with her friend's family, and she is in love with the older son of this family, but of course he's not into her, and it's just a whole bunch of angst, but just really good writing. This series turns around. I know it's really long for Valentine's Day weekend, but you could pull it off on a Valentine's Day weekend if you were that lonely. Let's be real, the king of contemporary modern day romance novels is Nicholas Sparks. And there are many Nicholas Sparks novels you can pick from. So I'm going to recommend my favorite. This book follows a war veteran who comes back home in search of the girl in a picture that he believes gave him good luck while he was away at war. This is actually really cute, and of course it follows Nicholas Sparks' famous formula. You know the formula I'm talking about. I like contemporary and all, but I don't really want romance. I just want sex. I want a romantic contemporary with lots of sex in it. I suggest Perfect Chemistry by Simone Eccles. Technically, you could read any of the books in the Perfect Chemistry series, and technically you could read any books by Simone Eccles. But I'm going to suggest this one because this is about a guy named Alex and a girl named Brittany who are from different worlds, and they form a relationship that is both scandalous and very sexual. Pretty sure they have sex on a motorcycle in this. For our more advanced readers, if you want sex but are okay with it not being contemporary, I suggest The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simmons. This is about a Russian girl named Tatiana and a soldier named Alexander, and it takes place in the midst of World War II when these two characters meet and they form quite the sexual and romantic relationship. There's definitely sex scenes in this book because when I was looking through it, I opened up and just there it was. It was happening. I have a memoir that is kind of about romantic relationships. So, if you're into something funny, but also something that's based on a true story, then I suggest Dear Girls Above Me by Charlie McDowell. There's a famous set of tweets known as the Dear Girls Above Me, and the writer and creator of that Twitter page, Charlie McDowell, decided to culminate all of this information and all of these tweets into a book about his romantic endeavors as he tries all of the advice and tips that the girls who live in the apartment above him say out loud. This book is hilarious and pretty short, so you should be able to finish it while you're eating that tub of ice cream on Valentine's Day. Hey Brianna, do you have something a bit more wholesome? I do! Believe it or not, but there's a whole sect of Christian fiction that's just romance, and it's safe for innocent little minds. I'm recommending Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. This takes place in 1850s California and is about a prostitute named Angel who doesn't believe in love until a man named Michael is sent by God to marry her. There is some mature content in this novel, but it's also very, very, very good. I understand. You want to read a romance that's also a fairy tale, but you don't want to read a fairy tale because those kill romance. Perfectly fine. The book I have for you is Once Upon a Marigold by Jean Ferris. This book is about a commoner named Christian who was literally raised in a cave, and he has fallen in love with the Princess Marigold, but it turns out that Marigold might have a curse on her. This is just a wonderful book. It always fills me with joy whenever I read it, and it's pretty short, so you should be able to finish it this weekend. I don't even want to read, I just want to look at pictures. DramaCon by Svetlana Chumkova. This is about a girl named Christy who goes to her very first DramaCon, and while she's there, she meets a boy named Matt, who's very interesting. There is some mature content in this series, but it's only in the first book, and you should be fine. And if you can manage to get your hands on the special collector's bind-up edition, there is a super cute romantic comic that takes place at the very, very end. Alright, this book isn't really horror, but it kind of is. I'm suggesting Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. First of all, this is Romeo and Juliet with zombies. So, there's that. But it's actually really romantic and really intelligent, but also kind of gory. And if you're into that kind of thing and you just want something creepy, but also really nice and pleasant, I know, right? Why would you want both of those things at the same time? Who knows? Read this book. I can't possibly decide what genre I want to read. Alright. Then, if you are interested in everything you could possibly have from a romantic book, I suggest The Princess Bride by William Goldman. If you're into movies and you want to read a romantic book that is just a really great movie, then also pick this book up. This is about a common girl named Buttercup who loses the love of her life, Wesley, and when the prince of a nearby kingdom picks her to become his bride, she accepts, except that she does not love him. This book has action, adventure, murder, true love, sword fights, revenge, everything. Brianna, I don't care what book I read. I just want love to die. Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. This is about a man who allegedly killed his wife. And if that doesn't scream perfect Valentine's Day for you, then just remember that I'm going to go see it with all of my single friends on Valentine's Day because they're showing it at my school on Valentine's Day. Lastly, if you don't really want to read about romance at all, but you would just like to read about friendship, then I suggest The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. This is about a group of 1950s gang members who are just trying to get by and who just are great friends with each other. And it is a really, really good book. You could also finish this in one day because it is very, very short. Okay, those are all my book suggestions. I hope you found something along the lines of what you're looking forward to read. I hope you all have a wonderful Valentine's Day weekend, whether you're spending it with your significant other, or your best friend, or just with Netflix. I hope you enjoyed this video. All the information that is usually down below is down below. Also, I have a Twitter again. You should go check that out. Alright, bye!